We told you yesterday about our investigation into an East County group home for vulnerable adults. It involved having a mentally ill resident go outside to eat in the January cold because he wouldn't shower. Tonight, Team 10 investigator Craig Harris reports that he found there were medication errors and another resident walked off during an outing in town.
Residents each week get a chance to come into the community and have a meal at a restaurant of their choosing. On this particular night in mid-November, most of them wanted to go to Wendy's. But not everybody wanted to go, and two of them were dropped off about 150 yards away at Rubio's. When they came back to get them, one of them was gone. An internal staff email from Changing Options says the resident was told to either stay put or walk to Wendy's when he was done. Instead, under light rain and in the dark, the resident walked away. He'd gone on independent walks before, but according to the email, a staff member still went looking for him several times. He made a nearly 2-mile walk home after a pit stop at a market. When he got back, he was angry and yelling, the email said. A staff member who dropped him off in a staff email wrote that the resident doesn't take responsibility for some of his actions. Last time we told you about Big Mo.
I love people, and I just thought it would be a great place to work.
Albert Maurice Trammell had worked at Changing Options for about a year. He helped take care of the residents. The decorated military veteran with a background in police work told Team 10 that he also shared his concerns with state regulators. He said one of the duties of the staff included taking residents out for their weekly meal. As recently mentioned, during an outing on November 15th, one resident walked away.
When they go out, they're in your care. It's an outing, a supervised outing, and you're not to let anyone out of your sight. The other client had walked off somewhere. We found out later that he walked the length of Ramona back to our location in the rain, and I believe it was dark at that time. I'm almost 100% certain.
What's the risk of losing someone like that?
Well, the risk is great. They can't delineate most of the time where they are, reality, and hence them walking off. There's a risk of getting hit by a car or other people approaching them, and then it's just not the way outings are typically ran.
Trammell said while he's raised concerns about safety issues to management at Changing Options, he acknowledged he's made mistakes. He provided Team 10 with a written reprimand he received in April. He was accused of a HIPAA violation for looking at or sending internal emails. HIPAA is a federal law that protects sensitive health information from being disclosed without the patient's consent or knowledge. Trammell refused to sign the warning letter. He also said he's made a medication error during his time there.
When I gave out the wrong medication to a client, I admitted it. When I saw the write-up, I said, am I being written up for giving out the wrong medication?
He said he wasn't alone. On November 17th, 2 days after the dinner incident, staff received an email about significant medication errors. The email said, "We have to make sure we are fully focused on medications when we are doing them."
As you can imagine, the amount of pills and medication we have that's being dispensed at that location is staggering, to say the least.
A few months earlier, Changing Options had followed state guidelines and reported to regulators a different medication error. In June of last year, a client with bipolar disorder grabbed a cup of pills that belonged to another patient. The client then took 5 pills and began sweating and having slurred speech, according to the state investigation. The incident didn't cause a lasting injury, according to the report. But state regulators at the time cited Changing Options for not storing medications in a safe and locked place, accessible only to employees. The report said this posed a potential safety risk. The State Department of Social Services put Changing Options on a plan of correction that was to include additional staff training. Department of Social Services spokeswoman Teresa Mayer told us the state was unaware of the November email that had warned staff members about significant medication issues with residents at Changing Options. Another staff email during the past year reminded employees to not leave knives and scissors out in the open or in unlocked drawers.
When they send their loved ones there, they expect a certain amount of care. You don't expect for your loved one to be left out in the cold, or you don't expect for your loved one to be left unsupervised at a restaurant, or have knives laying around, or some of the other various things that will happen.
Just this week, we found out the state had expanded its investigation to changing options. Big Mo, who got fired earlier this month, shared text and emails from a state regulator with Team 10. Those records show that they were gathering more information on the January incident involving the resident who would not shower and other allegations. Big Mo said despite being fired, he told me it will all work out in the end. With photojournalist Amal Brown and Ike Cadreal, I'm Craig Harris, Team 10.